What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, it has happened. Mark this day on your calendars as it is official. We have hit a new all-time low for SPS. You can see here, May 1st, 2024. The all-time low is now sitting at just above 1.2 cents. So yes, I know it's been a very difficult time for Splinterlands players, for Splinterlands assets, and just the community and team as a whole, I'm sure. And this comes with a backdrop of a broader market pullback, right? So Bitcoin, let's go back here to Splinter Cards. Bitcoin is sitting at about 57, 58K, around that range. DEC is well below peg, which does make for, I guess, cheaper packs, but nobody's really moving on those. So, you know, with SPS, here's the thing, right? We hit a new all-time low. You can see here that we are sitting at 1.26 billion in terms of overall supply. The market cap is now dipped below 16 million. We're at 15.7 million. So very much a micro cap project. We've burned, you know, a little over 120 million, but all things considered, we are still not even halfway through the distribution phase of 3 billion tokens. And with the distribution that is coming out, with the faucets that are on, I can only imagine that the downward pressure will be around for a very long time. If you look at it from a 65 months kind of perspective, you know, we're like halfway through that, which means another, you know, a halfway point, which would be 30 months, is 2.5 years, which is why I'm already starting to talk about next cycle, right? And again, assuming Splinterlands can survive through the bull market and into the, survive the bull market, survive the upcoming bear market, and then get into when the next halving rolls around. I think things should be interesting by then. That being said, I've talked about SPS hitting a penny recently, or at least I went through and I tried to do the math on it, talk about it from a market cap perspective, talk about it from distribution perspective, and why I thought it would actually be quite difficult for us to actually hit 1 penny. But we're doing our best, right? I mean, we're doing our best. We're getting pretty low there. So all that bearish stuff aside, I do want to ask a question for the bulls in the long run. When do you back up the truck? How many people are looking at this as an opportunity or looking at potentially lower prices, right? At 1.1 cents, a penny, maybe even under a penny. When would you have the conviction to go all in on SPS? And I ask that not in a joking manner, because the truth is, even for me at this point, looking at it at 1.2 cents, knowing that in the short to medium term, there are no catalysts coming up outside of, you know, any other external market forces. But even still, if I believe in the broader market picking up, and I have the utmost faith in Bitcoin, right? So I'm a Bitcoin maxi at the end of the day. So I know that Bitcoin's going to do well, no matter what, right? I mean, it's just, you look at all of the other macro factors coming in, you look at adoption happening there, Bitcoin's going to go up. If you assume, and this is where we get in trouble, right? We make an ass out of you and me, but if we assume that there will be some kind of alt season that follows or goes along with a Bitcoin pump, I know we've talked about correlation. I know we've talked about the fact that they're, you know, not as correlated as before, that we're somewhat decoupled. But at the same time, I cannot imagine that if the bull market rages, maybe not even as crazy as 2021, although I think we could get there. If the bull market rages, I just can't see a world in which SPS isn't higher than it is today. Right, so 1.2 cents is where we're sitting at. Again, we could probably go lower. Now, that being said, I'm not sitting here and talking about, oh, you know, like we're going to go to the moon, talking about $1 SPS or talking about whatever the case is. I think a lot of that stuff is probably overblown at this point, and nobody's really talking about that anymore, right? I think people have come to their senses in terms of what the expectations should be for SPS. You know, I've said before, this is not a price prediction. This is not financial advice, but I've said before that I'm hoping we see a 10-cent SPS, right? I think we maybe top out at a 10-cent SPS in this bull run. But again, that's almost a 10x from here, right? So just imagine where that would take us. We'd only be at $100 million, $150 million market cap, which again, or $130 million market cap, which compared to other games is like nothing. But considering, what we've seen from Splinterlands so far, considering the inflation rate, and considering the fact that many other games out there just look way better, feel better, they're new, they don't have baggage, my expectation is we don't see a lot of capital coming in here. What we probably end up seeing is a lot of whales in the game that make money from ETH, Bitcoin, whatever. They take those profits, they come back in, they buy assets in Splinterlands because they like the game. And therefore, that's where the new capital comes from, not even necessarily from new players, right? Again, I'm hoping that Matt will be effective. The team will be effective in terms of bringing on new players. But I'm not living here with this expectation that they're going to hit 100,000 players, real people coming in between now and the next 18 months. Again, I'm not trying to be bearish. I'm just being incredibly conservative. But even with that, even if it's just the people here within this community, the hardcore believers, the folks who are too stubborn to sell out, the people who have, sunk cost fallacy, I'm looking at SPS and wondering, or at least thinking to myself, is there a point at which I buy more? Right? Because I made a video a little while back that I'm no longer selling. SPS is not something, when I take ice cream money, SPS is not what I'm taking ice cream money from, because at this point, there's just not much to offer, right? I'll take it from all the other assets that are even less meaningful, right? Like they have even less utility, like vouchers. I love selling my vouchers every single day, right? So, but SPS at this point, I'm just stacking, right? I'm just stacking. I'm waiting to see maybe if we get to 2-3 cents again, I'll take my ice cream at a 3x, right? Rather than where we're at right now. But for the most part, I'm looking at SPS and thinking to myself, okay, patience, long-term, medium to long-term outlook, 6 to 12 to 18 months, right? This gets us to the second half of 2025, which if this cycle mirrors even just remotely what 2020 and 2021 look like, it's got to be higher than 1.2 cents. Now, that being said, are there better opportunities elsewhere? Have we seen better opportunities elsewhere? Absolutely. And for the people that we've had these conversations with in the comments and all that are going to put capital there, I've never disagreed with you. I've always said, go for it, right? Like I don't disagree with you. I think there's plenty of opportunities. But I'm in Splinterlands, right? I'm in Splinterlands. I know the ins and outs. I follow the team. I listen to the town halls. I know what's going on. I know that they're working hard to get all this stuff out. So I have a little bit more, I don't know how to like neatly define it, whether it's affinity or trust or confidence that, the team is going to deliver a lot of the things that they've been talking about. So therefore, there's a little bit more trust in that. And while, nothing is ever going to be as good as BTC or Bitcoin, I look at SPS and I'm just like, well, how much would I park in here if I was quite confident that we could get back to 3 cents, right? Or 3.5 cents, do a 3x from here, essentially. How much would I park in there? And that's again, the question I'm asking myself kind of out loud, and I'm asking you guys in terms of, for those who are still, looking at this and salivating, right, in terms of SPS and looking at how juicy it can get if you're trying to buy this massive dip that we've been on for the past 2 years. My question is for you, when are you backing up the truck? Is it now? Is it at 1.1? Is it, one penny, or is it under a penny, right? What does it have to get to for you to be like, yep, you know what? I'm going to bring in some outside capital. And when I say back up the truck, I'm not talking about going all in. I'm just talking about, like, when would you buy another significant chunk of SPS in order to round out your bag, or even just trade, right? Again, like at some point, this could be, and again, I hate to, this is not financial advice. I'm not trying to say anything out of it, but it's like at some point we're going to look at this and it's going to be like, oh, that was the easiest 2x, right? To go from 1.2 to 2.5 cents, right? Something's going to happen in the next 12, 18 months, in my opinion, right? whether it's a new mini set, whether it's parts of, LAN 1.6 or 2.0 going live, whether it's the next core set, right, which I'm expecting next summer. Something is going to be a catalyst, or it could just be Bitcoin hitting 100,000, right? And everybody being like, oh, I got profits. Let's go in and buy stuff. So whatever that ends up being, I look at this and I'm just like, okay, there's an opportunity. I don't know how to, I'm still figuring out how to quantify what that opportunity is with the associated risks. But my question is for you guys. At what point are you looking at the price of SPS and willing to back up the truck? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I think it'll be, or at least, allow for an interesting discussion. I'm sure there'll be a lot of snark and bearishness, which I welcome as well. Any kind of saltiness, because it's just fun. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.